Afternoon Talk on SAFM.
Somebody, Akan Young, by the way, just commenting by our Facebook saying, Ashraf, do you still have the media journalism students coming into our show? Referring to the Sunday morning media show that I do. Well, I'll tell you what, we don't always promote it, but quite honestly, if you are involved as a student in marketing and media and you want to sit in on one of my shows, please just let me know. Simple as that. Email me, ashraf@safm.co.za. Well, yes, we did this the other day. Let me just try it as well once again. I mean, where are you? Love to know. You can SMS us. It will cost you money, but love to know who you are. So where are you listening right now? What's your name and what sort of work do you do? And if you want to SMS me about that, do that, 34701. Right, let's get on to the second half of the afternoon talk show. And today, as you know, we always do this. We put somebody in the spotlight. Today it's the turn of Margaret Hirsch, who's not just Margaret Hirsch, but she's Margaret Hirsch of the Hirsches, meaning the Hirsch's Homestores. And we'll find out pretty soon whether you've actually shopped at those stores. But anyway, she's the CEO, she's the boss of Hirsch's Homestores, and we're putting her in the spotlight. So, Margaret, let's start with that. First of all, good afternoon. Hi.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm very good. Well, thanks for allowing us to put you in the spotlight.
That's wonderful. I'm very happy to be here.
Indeed. Tell lots of things we're going to talk about, I'm sure, over the next 45 minutes or so. But talk to me about, just the Hirsch's Homestore as obviously very much an extension of who you are, right? Quick one, how did it start? Because I understand it's very much a family business, right?
It's very much a family business. It was started by my husband, Alan, way back in 1979. Let me just take you back a bit from there. He was at school. He never passed one standard at school.
Okay.
And when he failed standard 7 for the third time when he was 18, his father said to him, look, you're never going to be able to pass matric, so you may as well go out and get a job. And he'd been labelled at school as just uneducable, and you just can't do anything with your life, so let's get you a job where you can work with your hands. So he became a refrigeration mechanic, and he worked with his hands. And when I married him, he was earning 25 Rand a week. Okay. And he thought he was stupid because people had told him that all his life, and he believed them. And when I met him, I knew that he wasn't stupid, and I said to him that you could do much more than this. You're very, very clever, I can tell. And I taught him to read and write very quickly. And then our neighbour was a retired school teacher, and she introduced him to a man by the name of Dr. Loeb, who said to him, you're not stupid, you're just dyslexic. And from that minute on, he knew that he wasn't stupid, and because they told him he wasn't stupid, he realised he wasn't. And that's when he said, now I can get out and I can start my own business.
Wow.
But we didn't do that straight away because he worked for another man, and he was fixing all the appliances, and the other man was selling them, and he was selling them at really, really high prices, and sometimes he wasn't, doing what we thought he should do. So he said to my husband the one day, well, if you think you can do better than me, why don't you go and start your own business, which we did. I, at the time, was working. I was pregnant, and after 5 years of marriage. So, but when my boss found out I was pregnant, he just told me, you're fired. And those were the days before the CCMA. So there's nothing you could do. So we went from having 2 jobs and no children to having 2 children and no jobs in the space of 1 year. So it was a big incentive to get our business up and running. Okay,
and then your part in it?
Well,
besides inspiring him to say he's not stuped, obviously played a major role.
Well, apart from that, yes, I did the book work, and I could add and subtract and do all that type of thing. But then in 1980, we started with microwave ovens. And the first microwave ovens came in, and people didn't know what they were or how they worked. So I took them home and started to work with them. And from then, we had such a little shop that we used to take the appliances and put them on the pavement. And I would put the microwaves up in the shop, put the people in the shop, and I would cook them a meal in the microwave very, very quickly. And they would be amazed, and they would buy the microwaves and take them home. And that's how it all started.
That's how it all started. Now, if you reflect on that past, but if you talk in the present tense now, can you quite believe it? What has happened? It's a billion Rand industry, right? Your business.
Yes, no, we've come a long way, and it's been a long haul. It hasn't been easy. We've had ups and downs. We've lost lots of money, lots of times, but you learn from your mistakes and you go forward. And leaving KZN and going to Gauteng was a huge move for us. Our friends used to own Appliance City in Joburg, and then they sold up and came down to the coast. And we never thought we'd been. When I went to Joburg 10 years ago, I'd never set foot in the town in my life. So it was a huge move for us, but we went, and we took a lot of our staff with us, and they've all settled there, and they're very happy there now. And, of course, just recently we've just moved to the Cape. So it was also a huge move for us as well. Everybody said, you'll never make it in the Cape, it's a different market and all this type of thing. Well, I want to tell you, our store there is just soaring. It's going so well, it's unbelievable.
Okay,
so for us, that's very good. And we've diversified a bit. We have Samsung stores, we have Sony shop, and we've got a new range of stores called the Bedroom Boutique, where we do beds and very upmarket linen, that type of thing.
Okay,
so it's a multifaceted company.
Well, it's certainly good that we do put you in the spotlight, because we'll find out exactly what your story is. But as we're finding out, we also hopefully are using this interview to inspire others to make it big, and I'm sure that's something that is close to your heart. 0891 104207. That's the number to dial in, the call-in number, if you want to say hi to Margaret Hirsch, the CEO of Hirsch's Homestores, because she's in the spotlight. Now, you can do that on the basis of you may well be a customer of Hirsch's, and you say, oh, I'd love to speak to the boss, finally get hold of her. You could also do it on the basis that you could well be related to her, and sort of hi to your relative that you don't get much time talking about. But also, if you've been inspired by what she's done, and the family and the brand itself, and you feel it's a good chance to acknowledge that and maybe share some of your own memories of the stores and what they do, then all of that welcome. So 0891 104207. You can also SMS me 34701. That will cost you 2 rands. And if you are tweeting, well, tweet me to Ashraf Garda1, but also use the hashtag afternoon talk. So afternoon talk, which I will pick up from pretty easily. There's some comments via Facebook. I will read those Facebook comments pretty shortly. Let's get a couple of quick calls just to get it rolling. James in Randburg, let's start with you. Hi, James. James, you're on the air. Hello. No, James is not there. James, you need to call back so we can get to you in a second. Musa in Durban. Hello.
Good morning. Yes. How are you?
Yes, Musa.
I know I've never met Margaret, but I've heard stories about her from my personal mentor. His name is Jean Hexton. I'm not sure if she will remember her, from Morningside in Durban. And she actually inspired me to start my own business. I've been at it for the past, it's going for the 4th year now, and we're going stronger every year. And it's stories like hers that kind of gets me inspired, got me inspired to be who I am today.
Okay, lovely. Just hold on. Let's see if she gets that name right. Margaret, do you remember that name?
Yes, I do, and I'm just so happy that Jean's been able to inspire him to start his own business and to do well. And that's what my goal is now, to help young entrepreneurs to know that you can be there. But, there's only one thing that separates the winners from the losers, and that's hard work. There's no substitute for hard work.
So hard work is the issue. Okay, Musa, you got that, and well, Musa's doing that anyway, right? We've also asked you, by the way, just to SMS your name and where you are right now in the country and what sort of work you do. It gives a good insight into who we're talking to. So please do that. I'll read through some of those SMSs in just a second as well. Margaret, let's talk about, I know you've won many accolades, so just want to rattle through those?
Well, I've won a few, but at the moment I'm a finalist in the South African Businesswoman of the Year. I'm down to the last 3, and the big ceremony is on the 28th of this month at the Sandton Convention Centre, so I'm looking forward to that.
So who you're up against?
Up against a travel agent from Soweto, and luckily enough, the other lady is Priya, also from Durban, and she has her own finance company, which she started from scratch. So yes, it's very inspiring, but the nicest thing about it is meeting all these women who have really come a long way, who've worked really hard and made their businesses so successful. And it's very inspiring to me, and I think to help other people who want to start their own business, to know that you can do it, but it's not an easy route. There's no way to make fast money. It's hard work every inch of the way. And every one of the finalists that I've spoken to said there is nothing else but hard work. You've just got to keep working at it hard all day, every day.
How important is it for you to be a winner? And I don't mean a winner in your business, because you already are, but when you have these, when you're a finalist in the top 3, besides the point you made about meeting lots of people, which I understand, clearly you don't go there to lose, just as the South Africans, some of the Olympians showed as well at the London Olympic Games. You want to win ultimately.
Yeah, I think, well, there you go. You're in it to win it, and that's the most important thing. But for me, what it'll do is it'll open a lot more doors, because sometimes I struggle to get to the type of people that I want to reach. I want to reach young girls who are starting out in life, who are going out into the workplace looking for a job, not quite knowing how to do it. And I want to put them on the right path. I want them to start on the right path in their career and get them started and up and running as quickly as they can, so that they can start making money and start improving their lives and in turn improving the lives of others.
Okay, we're going to talk I see we've lost John once again. Let's get to Midrand now. That's in the Gauteng region, Joburg. Carmen on the line. Hi, Carmen.
Hello, Ashraf.
Yes, hi.
And I just want to give a bouquet to Margaret Hirsch.
Okay, go ahead.
I was in deep financial trouble in 2010, and my fridge had packed up. And someone wrote a letter, and out of the kindness of the heart, Hirsch's Homestore delivered a fridge to my house in June 2010. And I just want to, I don't know, that kind of kindness and that kind of, you just can't forget it.
Oh, that's such a lovely call. Stay on the line. You need to. Margaret,
Right.
do you want to respond to that? I'm sure you do remember that, don't you?
I must be honest that I don't, but we do give a lot to different people when they're stuck, and sometimes you're just in a hard place, and I've been there. So I think I can feel for them, and when people say to me, I need this, and we assess it. I mean, we don't want somebody who just wants a handout. But sometimes life has dealt you a hard blow and you just need a little bit of a helping hand. And that's what we're there for. We just say to them, here's a little helping hand, and we just get you going in the right direction. It makes a huge difference in your life.
Okay, and you're feeling... And Carmen, you're fine now?
We tried. I lost my vision in 2010, up in 2006, so it's been difficult.
Okay.
But I just want to say that fridge came from the four-way shop. So it was probably someone in that store.
I see that motivated. Yeah. Okay, great. Nice story indeed. Thanks for that, Carmen in Midrand. How important is that? Great feedback from people who are effectively not your customers, but they've been touched by the Hirsch's Homestore brand and therefore yours.
Well, it's all about giving back. From my stage, I've now made enough money that I can live on, and I don't have to worry about that anymore. So that's what we do at Hirsch's. We're there to help others. And the success of our business is that we're not focused on making huge profits. We are growing people, helping people, and working with people all day.
So tell us more. I mean, why does it work? Why does Hirsch's Homestore work?
It works because we're growing the people that we work with. It's very important to me that my staff are very happy. They're very well paid. They're very well looked after, and they know that they can rely on me for anything. They phone me at all times of the day and night, and I help them. In turn, they work hard, and they get the satisfaction of knowing that they've improved their lives. And in improving their lives, they help all their friends and relations to improve theirs. I just got such a nice letter from one of my staff in Cape Town. He said, that I was miserable for the last 3 years. I used to walk around complaining. And he said, my family can't believe that I'm the same person, that I'm walking with a smile on my face. And one of my new managers who just got appointed as assistant manager to my Clearwater Mall Samsung store, he said to me he got home, they finished late there, they finished work at 7. He got home to Centurion at 8 o'clock at night, and his family said, we cannot believe you walking with a smile on your face. And he said, I just feel so good.
Is that the type of philosophy then runs through the entire Hirsch's Homestore brand, or is it just some of the people that are lucky to interact with people like yourselves?
No, I think it's the whole brand. Look, we're a growing company, so we're employing new people all the time, and there are some that don't buy into our philosophy. But those that do really grow, and they see each other growing and getting better and better. And yes, we do motivate our staff every single morning. Every manager motivates the staff in the morning meeting before we open.
What do they say when they motivate them?
We study people like Dr. Wayne Dyer, Dr. John Maxwell, those type of people who are motivational speakers, and we just inspire each other to be better than we have been the day before. Every day you've got to be better than you were the day before. You've got to do something different, and you've got to help somebody else, and we all do the paying forward. Every day we try and help somebody who will never know that we've helped them, and that's possibly why I didn't know the other lady who I'd helped, because somebody would have said to me, help, and I would have said, here's the help, but I don't want them to know who I am, and I don't want to know who they are, but they must know that I've helped them.
Okay, Margaret Hirsch from Hirsch's Homestore, the CEO, is in the spotlight. Are you inspired? Well, if you are, let us know. If you've heard about Margaret Hirsch for the very first time, or even the Hirsch's Homestore, because of course it's not countrywide at this point in time. It's Joburg, Durban, Joburg, and just now in Cape Town as well. Well, you may want to find out a few things about how she's grown that business with her husband as well, of course, that you've heard as well. I'll pick out an interesting SMS. I did say if you're related to Margaret Hirsch and you want to say hi to her, then take that chance. But you can also SMS me, and Mohammed's not related to you, but he's saying, hi Margaret, do you still come to Mandiston? I'm your neighbor there, so nice to see or to hear you on radio. All the best for the future. You know the name, Mohammed?
Yes, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm in Manderson. I go there. That's where my farm is. I go there every single Sunday because as a family, and people often say to me, "How do you manage to have a business and have a family life as well?" Well, it says in lots of good books that you work for 6 days, and on the seventh day you must rest. And so on Sundays we go up to our farm, and my entire family goes up there, and we have a lunch together, and that is our family time. So Manderson's very important in my life. And for those of you who don't know, Manderson is a very spiritual area. We're between the Hare Krishna temple, between the Buddhist retreat and the convent. Everything is in that area, so it's a lovely, lovely area to be in.
All right. I want to. That's really a nice call as well. You did say, Margaret, earlier about your own story, about, you know, besides meeting the husband who was dyslexic, but just even before that you sort of alluded to the fact that you've had a difficult early life. Talk to me about that.
Well, my father died when I was 11, and my mother was 32 and she was widowed, so it was really, really hard for her, and she had never worked, and she had no way of keeping her head above water, so I was put into a foster home in Pietermaritzburg. And that's why I like to work with the children who are in foster homes who think, oh my goodness, I've been abandoned and nobody's going to ever look after me, and where am I going to land up? And I say to them, it's your decision. You decide where you're going to go. And I can remember sitting in that foster home thinking, this isn't the type of life I want. I know that there's a better life out there, and I know I can have it. And I worked towards that, and that's what I got. I've got a fantastic life now where I have everything I want. I have a loving husband, I have wonderful children, and I've got 2 amazing little grandchildren.
Right, Edwin in George, let's get to you. Hi,
So,
Edwin.
Ashraf,
Yes.
this lady has the key. If you look at the life story of Sir Walter Russell and Henry Ford, too, they tell you, wealth doesn't come to those who seek it. You give a service, which is what a government, a profession, and a business, and we ourselves should do. Then people come to you. It's a loving, devoted relationship. This is the way to build a country, not with avarice, greed, envy, those negative things. If we could filter those out and protect ourselves from big multinationals, this is the difference between genuine free enterprise, when you keep the value of your currency and that of your customer and of the nation, and the unacceptable face of capitalism, which controls communism and socialism to offer people something for nothing and then take them over.
Okay, nice.
Wonderful story.
Indeed. Edwin in George. Right, so another one of those very, very complimentary about the type of things you do. There are some negatives, of course, saying staff are poorly paid. This is via Facebook. Treated very badly, almost slave-like, employing mainly desperate, jobless Indians from KZN. No unions allowed, poor labor practices, even illegal. No benefits, low basic salary, commission only. He is clearly not a supporter. Your response?
Well, he doesn't know what he's talking about, because I have almost 2,000 staff in total working for me, and they're all extremely well paid. They're all very, very happy, and if they're not, they can come to me directly. There are a lot of staff that come into us and they don't buy into our philosophy, and they don't want to work hard, and they want lots of things for nothing, and then they don't work out. But we fall in all the basic employment regulations are all adhered to here. We have our 45 hours that we work, then they get time and a half, then double time. And we have HR people working with our staff all the time. So if any staff member isn't happy, they will definitely tell them.
All right. So does any of those questions or the allegations make any sense, or can you refute?
They don't make any sense at all.
Not one of them.
My staff are asked constantly if they want to join unions, and they're very, very happy. They don't have to. I'm here. If they have a problem, they come to me. I sort out their problem. I have staff living in my own flats that don't have anywhere to live. So if I take somebody from Durban, for instance, to Joburg, they don't have anywhere to live. They live in my flat free of charge for 3 months. The reason 3 months, the first month they save what they would pay in rent for their deposit. The second month is for their first month's rent, and the third month is for their lights and water. And I help them, and we set them up in a home, and they are all doing incredibly well. I have wonderful success stories. My staff are mostly own their own motor cars. They have their own homes. They have Medicaid, Provident funds. They have everything that they can possibly want.
Okay, let's see if others may want to touch on that same thing. Basil in Durban. Hi, Basil.
Ashraf, hi.
Yes, hi.
Thanks for taking my call.
It's a pleasure.
Many years ago, I was a consultant and consulted to Margaret and Alan
Okay.
in their business for a short while, and did some labor law and motivational presentations to the company and their staff. And all I can say, it was one of the most memorable occasions that I've had as a consultant. enjoying the kind of camaraderie and spirit that Alan and Margaret were able to have in their company. And I've done presentations to many organizations, and this one stands out as memorable.
Oh, that's lovely.
So congratulations.
Basil, can you remember sort of one anecdote that you may want to share?
The approachability of Alan and Margaret. They were part of the team. They had humility and the ability to actually integrate and relate to the stuff on their level. And that was very impressive. And I'm talking now probably about 15 years ago, maybe longer. But in those times, before the good old days of 1994, it was probably about 3 years into apartheid, the removal of. And, there was no racial tensions, and I attribute to that very much to the humility and the ability of Alan and Margaret just to relate to their staff as almost as equals, and that was very impressive.
Okay, nice. Great call indeed. You want to respond to that, Margaret? You probably know that. You certainly know the caller.
Well, in 1994, what we did is we decided that we had to help the new South Africa. It was no good talking about it. We had to do something about it. So what we did is we had lots of drivers who worked for us. So we assisted them in buying the trucks from us. So they paid over a very long period of time and a small amount of repayments. And we helped them to start their own business. And most of them are still with us today. And they now have more than one truck, some of them up to 5 trucks. And they do our delivery. So we set them up in their own businesses. By the same token, all our technicians as well. We started them in their own businesses. We helped them to get themselves up and running. We helped them with their books. And they work for us and for other people, and they're running their own businesses very successfully today. And we have lots of them. We have air conditioning installers, we have gas installers, we have DSTV installers. I mean, Mervyn, who works for me here, has the most successful installation business for DSTVs and satellite. He installs TVs, hi-fis. And when I went down to the Cape, he came down there and helped me, and he does the work there, and he set up one of his workers as I had set him up in the Cape Town branch, and he works for us there as well. So, yeah, there are a lot of them that work under our umbrella.
Okay, let's pick out... we've asked... Well, there's another one from, I think it's Lynn, saying, hi, Hirsch has an excellent, reliable, efficient after-sales service as well. And we also asked about people telling us where they are. So someone saying, hi, Ashraf, I'm Papi Morale from Taung. I'm at work in Uppington and enjoying your program. I must say that Thabo Mbeki, African speech is the best speech ever, which is really interesting. Another one from, let me see if I can get it, Mandla Lukele from Nelspruit, who's a graduate business owner, 36, married, listening to the show as I talk. Another one saying, my name is Stephen, listening from Groblersdal in Limpopo on 10500. So people all around the country tuning into SAFM. Dr. Van Wyk on the line in Joburg. Hi.
Hi, Ashraf, how are you?
Hi, good. You're on the air. Go for it.
Hi, I'd like to just say that I really admire Mr. and Mrs. Hirsch. I had one of the workers some time ago, and I think the guy just started working for them, and Mrs. Hirsch actually paid for the entire treatment because the chap didn't have any medical aid, so she paid for everything, basically. And I thought that was very admirable from Mr. and Mrs. Hirsch.
Okay, nice one. So certainly, thanks for that call, Dr. Van Wyk. We're certainly getting lots of those. Now, just a quick one before we get into news. What would you advise someone who works for you, says, I want to start my own business, I want to get away from here?
Oh, no, we help them all the time. It happens all the time. They come to us and they see how we do it, and they look at our business model and they want to copy us. And I say to them, you can do it, but you've got to understand you've got to work really, really hard. And we've got various people who've started up repair businesses that have worked for me, and they've started their own business, and it's gone very successful. We have one in Durban North here, which comes to mind straight away. And he used to work for me. He started up, and he's doing incredibly well. He knows exactly how we work, and he's done it. We have people who want to start like Samsung and Sony shops, and I say to them, come and work with us and see if you can work this hard, because it is hard work. There's no getting away from it. And some of them say, oh, my goodness, no, I'm quite happy to work for you. And others want to give it a try, and they do. So we're more than happy to help them.
Okay, we're going to continue talking, putting Margaret Hirsch in the spotlight up to around 4:45. So we'll talk about some of her personal views on some of the issues around the country, including entrepreneurship, as well as, besides entrepreneurship, issues around education. Maybe I'll do that. Another SMS we've had, let me see if I can pick this up, is from Neil Boyce, listening from Pretoria. Neil's the CEO of Babcock Healthcare. So there you are, another one from around the country. Margaret Hirsch is my guest, the CEO, the owner of Hirsch's Homestore, for the next 8 minutes or so. So she's in the spotlight. Margaret, interesting one here. It comes from someone saying, I can't believe my luck. I was thinking of a way of getting hold of Hirsch for help with my plans for a girl's place. That comes from the CSI side. There's a contact number as well, which I'm not giving out now. But bottom line, can he or she get hold of you?
Yeah, we get hundreds of emails every single day. They can email myself, margaret@hirsch's.co.za, and everything is dealt with on merit, and we look after hundreds of different schools, institutions, that type of thing. I run Johannesburg School for the Blind. I've got my own school there. We run schools on Durban Beachfront, so we've got lots and lots of different schools that we look after all the time. Okay, so email margaret@hirsch's.co.za, and I suggest that caller probably drops in the I Heard It First on SAFM to sort of jog your memory. Margaret, let's move on to other issues. Let's talk about something very topical here on the news now, education and textbooks in this country. What are your thoughts on this? Well, education is the way to go, and I think textbooks are becoming a thing of the past, because with Kindle and with big screen TVs, I know that I teach all the time. Mm-hmm. We have training schools in Johannesburg and in Durban and in Cape Town, and I teach, and that's what I do. I teach my staff, and I teach with a computer and a big screen TV. So I don't think everybody should get really up in arms about it, because with big screen TVs and with the computer, you can teach as many children as you want, and with a little projector, you can project onto that wall and you can show them everything. And my 2-year-old grandson can work an iPad. So the children today are changing. I think things are definitely changing. We've got to change with them. Okay, complete the sentence. I love it when South Africans do what? I love it when South Africans do well. I love it when South Africans are grateful that they live in South Africa, and I think that we as South Africans are just not grateful enough for the beautiful country that we live in, and we don't give thanks enough for being in this country, and we don't realize the wealth that we're sitting on right here. Okay, you've probably answered the I love it and I hate it in one sentence anyway, so thank you for that. Who for you, who was your mentor growing up? Someone that really inspired you? I was so lucky to be mentored by a man by the name of Bob Rickards. Now, just very quickly, Bob grew up in Zimbabwe in the old days, and he sold Hoover vacuum cleaners door to door, and that's how he made his first million. His second million he made selling Tempest radios. He used to go on his bicycle into the old Rhodesia and sell Tempest radios to people. And then he made his third million selling Solora TVs in 1976 when TVs first came into this country. So he was a wonderful man. He had a wonderful philosophy of life, and he taught me my job. And I think everybody needs a really good mentor, because what took him 40 years to learn, he taught me in less than 2. Okay. So, now that you're in a space where you are, you sort of teach people as well besides your work, how many people do you mentor, sort of directly? I mentor lots and lots of very indirect ways as well, because I mentor all my staff. I teach them all the time. I do have people that I mentor, but I work with them, and they have to be hardworking. I don't want anybody who just wants to come along for a free ride. And take somebody like Marianne Wundler. We started a wonderful place in Umlazi mega city, where we take ladies who don't have a job. We teach them how to cook, and we set them up in their own little businesses, and they're the little ladies you see sitting on the side of the road at 5 o'clock in the morning selling the fed cook and muffins to all the men going to work. So we have lots of little sidelines that we do, and I mentor people there, and not that I mentor Marianne because she's her own icon, but we do lots of little projects which make a huge difference in people's lives. Okay, you like this one. Mabisa is saying, I'm in the meat service, therefore I'm a regular customer of the Cape Town Hirsch store. I've never met Margaret, but her husband just pops in the shop and greets all the customers. Impressive. So there you are. Is there a book, or maybe a couple of books, that you'd like to recommend we all read? Well, you don't have to have fancy books. The book that I'm reading at the moment is to my 2 little grandsons by Dr. Seuss. It's called The Places You Will Go. And this is how it starts off, and just listen to the words. And this is what I'm teaching a 2-year-old. It says, you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You drive your life any which way you choose. You are who you are, and you know what you know, and you're the one who decides where you'll go.
Okay, and it's called The Places You Will Go.
Yes.
And that's great for dreaming, isn't it? And visualizing.
Yes.
Right. Is there a quote that you can leave us with?
Well, I think to believe in yourself is the most important thing. You have to believe in yourself. And if you believe in yourself and you know you can do it, there's nothing that's going to stop you.
So how do you respond to people who are, in fact, negative? In spite of all the things that you've just said, you pitch that story to someone and they say, I know, but I can never do it.
Yeah, I think you just have to show them that it can be done. And luckily, I'm now 62 years old, so I've got lots of experience. I've got lots of different people. I have a lovely lady who works for me called Paulina, who has a Standard 3 education, who now owns her own home and works for me in my Springfield Park store, and she's done so well. So I just take them to Paulina, and I say, Paulina had nothing. She had absolutely nothing. She had a Standard 3 education, and just look how wonderfully well she's done. She has a beautiful home that she lives in. She takes home a nice salary check every month. She looks after lots and lots of different people. And if she can do it, you can jolly well do it too.
Okay, we've got about a minute to go. I'll rush through a couple of things. What for you is your next big thing? What are you wishing to happen?
Well, I think we've got to go into Africa. I'm still building my new store, which is opening now in Boksburg, and then I'm building another one in the Cape. But I think from there I'd like to go to Namibia, Zambia, and go to those type of places into Africa, because I believe that South Africa is the gateway to Africa, and Africa is going to open up, and I think we have to be there and ready when it does.
Indeed. What for you is the one that's got away?
I honestly don't think that anything's got away, because everything that I've wanted, I've managed to get. We work to goals, and we achieve all our goals. So there's nothing that I really want that I can't have.
And on a personal level, in that bucket list, something that stands out?
There again, I've got everything that I want. I live in the home of my dreams. I drive the car that I want to. I have all the money that I can possibly spend. I have the most wonderful family. I have the most wonderful husband who allows me to do whatever I want to do. I have 2 beautiful children. I have 2 wonderful children-in-law. And I have 2 beautiful grandchildren. I can ask for nothing more.
And do you thank God every day?
I thank God every day that I live in this beautiful country, that I have a roof over my head, that I have a family that loves me, that I have food on the table and a job to come to. And more than that, you can never want.
Indeed. And I'll tell you what you've just been saying is like so straightforward, obvious, simple things. But I'd like to think that people listening to you and I talk say, hold it, I need to make a note of this one year. It's been great chatting to you. That book, by the way, is called The Places You Will Go, and I'd like to think people will make a note of that and read that book. Thanks for allowing us to put you in the spotlight, Margaret. And I'll probably get into a Hirsch's Homestore now with a slightly different vision of the store than just being a simple consumer. But thanks for your time anyway.
Thank you very much.
Indeed, there you are. Margaret Hirsch, from the owner of Hirsch's Homestore, in the spotlight. Who else do you want me to put in the spotlight? If you have strong views about that, then it's up to you to make that call. Email me, ashraf@safm.co.za. ashraf@safm.co.za. ashraf@safm.co.za.